Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jahlial. Today, I wanted to talk about Mercury officially because I mentioned this yesterday. In fact, re-entered in Sagittarius on December 11th. Right now, to do the entire transit, because the first time that it did so was in November. It went through a few mathematical degrees and it started the retrogradation to turn back to Scorpio. So right now, it is going to stay in this sign until January 1st of 2026. I wanted to repeat again that it still continues to go through mathematical degrees that are already reviewed. So we are just like processing, deciding, communicating things that are related with November, in the best of the cases with other perspectives, because that is the function of the retrogradation, and with much disposition to face our own truth, which is the light of Mercury in Sagittarius. Tomorrow, December 13th, perfects a sextile that is active since the moment that entered in Sagittarius with Pluto in Aquarius. Therefore, this is an opportunity that we can take to take impulse to decide to establish a conversation, to generate a change, especially in experiences that could involve facing certain fears, because that is Pluto, being honest with ourselves to transform, or implementing something that we didn't do before. Could be a new behavior, an idea, a new idea for a project, sharing something with a community, traveling, study, knowledge, a new knowledge that we can acquire, but everything has to have much purpose. Is a transit that could also help, if we choose to take this energy that way, harmonic aspect, to look with a little bit of distance and objectivity certain experiences, observing them with greater emotional detachment, not because feeling emotions is wrong, but many times when we are perceiving everything through extreme emotional states, that could be a barrier to make choices in coherence with what has sense for our soul. I am saying this because of the transits of Saturn and Neptune in Pisces of these days. And when I am talking about the new moon in Sagittarius of the next week that is already active, you are going to notice that both of them are going to continue active. So it is, of course, important to give a space to our emotions. It is very necessary. And if we are present in our body, in ourselves, you are going to notice how different dialogues are emerging. Some of them are accompanying us, and others, they are not doing that. So those are the ones that we need to redirect, or just not feeding them, because many times with just simply observing them, they disappear. And a sextile between Mercury and Pluto in Aquarius could be very collaborative with this. Now, at the same time, we have this transit that we are feeling very, very strong, and it is the square between Mars in Sagittarius and Neptune in Pisces that is perfected on December 14th. Mars is the planet of action and direction, and Neptune has the function to dissolve aspects of the identity, so we can let go of those barriers that prevent us from creating connection with our soul, which is the same that listening or feeling our intuition. And for many people, this is implying very important decisions, because the tensions that we are going to experiment along December with Neptune in Pisces are the last ones. The next year, we are going to have tensions, but with Neptune in Aries. So Neptune is not going to come to Pisces in more than 100 years. So Mars is the first planet that is going to do so. You have to observe this as a process that is being developed, because we have the Sun, we have Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius, and they are also going to make tensions with Saturn and Neptune, both of them in Pisces. So Mars, it is this force that we use to impulse ourselves, and when we are not channeling that force to the greatest growth, or the spaces that are making us expand, could be by avoiding, deciding, not establishing boundaries, because even boundaries are Saturn. We require of a balanced aggressiveness to tell someone, stop, or this is the way I want to go, or, could be actions that we take, but in other direction, or situations that aren't actually responding to the sense of the soul. So every distortion, let's say, it is going to turn in anger. It is the primary emotion when we talk about Mars. This is the emotion that is going to give us an indication. and there is much tendency to feel it, because a square is an aspect that is going to challenge us to grow according to what each one has to transit. And it is going to challenge us to act in directions that we truly feel they have a divine purpose. This means that we intuitively feel that they are going to be spiritually expansive. I mean, the key is to create inner peace. The rest, it is going to come connected with that, even if we initially could be feeling fears or uncertainty. The thing is that with attention with Neptune, we have to observe possible distortions in our perception of reality. One of them could be observing situations through an expectation or a fantasy that is disconnected from true possibilities. That those directions are actually an evasion of the true decisions that we need to take, or insisting in a vision that we want to believe that is beneficial, but truly the reality and our inner state are showing the opposite. That is very important. Other perspective could be that the information that we have, like in storage, our beliefs, the mental structures are preventing us from opening ourselves to new revelations, to opportunities that they are going to be revealed while we are moving forward. Because the path is proposing a way of walking it that is not fitting in the preconcepts of the mind. An example that I see a lot has to do with people that perhaps are in their process of finding their purpose or what they came here to do, which is very linked with Sagittarius. And perhaps they are dealing with, certain challenges or limitations in their resources. Let's remember that Saturn is in conjunction, so limitations or challenges are being presented so we can develop maturity in that area. And even if they are sustained in the whole process of what they need to integrate, I am referring that they have the necessary things, because other cases are going to propose other kind of learnings. It emerges a lot of fear and excess of focusing on what is going to happen in the future, and that kind of worries are a way of controlling. Our need of controlling could be very, very strong with transpersonal transits. And what is really helping is to focus ourselves in what we have at this moment, in what is among our capacity to take action. This means if there are other decisions in other areas of life, we have to attend them. Everything that is outside our capacity of response, then that is linked to universe, God, you can call it God, I call it cosmic intelligence manifesting itself. So as Neptune is in the degree 29, for many people this is an ending. Could be an ending in the sense that, they need to let go of something and they are not seeing quite clear what there is on the other side. The resistance to not having rational information is preventing them from, taking steps, or having to let go of an illusion where there were a lot of emotional attachment. It is this fantasy of external salvation that I was mentioning the other day in the video of Neptune. And these same circumstances could be draining a lot of energy, because when there is emotional attachment to something that we illusory want to be, we want to believe that can rescue us from our own suffering, something external that can cover up all of our voids as a relationship or other circumstances, people have the tendency to give all and to lose their boundaries through sustaining those situations. So there are other cases where people are feeling that actually are in the end of a passage. Could be something that they really want to change because of the presence of Saturn. Perhaps this involved lessons that were challenging in that area for the last 3 years, and could emerge old patterns of mistrusting, of being untrustful of the path, of doubt, of confusion, fear of not being able to move forward, or that a specific decision, it is not the correct one. And that inner battle and wanting to force life to, give us a security, many times could also activate resistance, like sadness, like apathy or anger. And we have to observe that confusion could be presented in both cases, because the mind enters in chaos when there is difficulty to listen to ourselves. So the answers are going to emerge from intuition. Frequently things could be resolved in ways that are much more fluid and easier if we if we wouldn't get in that battle with what is and with ourselves. But it is precisely these tensions, the ones that are pushing us to find that certainty on the inside, inwards, that are pushing us to transcend the self-deceit of the mind, to refine the connection with the soul and the mind, and to put the mind at service. And beyond this, I think that universe sends constantly synchronicities or signals are reflecting that. And many times we are not listening to that. Both for the aspects that could be developing in a positive way, as much as the ones that we are feeling that they are not contributing. And well, the last thing that I wanted to comment is that being able to move forward with a square between Mars and Neptune implies sacrifice, sacred office, and rendition, which is not the renouncement to the voice of the soul. On the contrary, could be letting go of something to align ourselves with a higher purpose. Could be surrender to the divinity, the wisdom of the cosmos, even if we are not catching that rationally. This is the greatest challenge with Neptune. And with the emotions that are emerging, we let them flow as a river, practicing to not judge them, seeking ways of liberating them, and in the possibilities without projecting that towards others. And well, we come back to our centers when we are ready. It is the acceptance of what is escaping our expectations and desires of the ego, to recognize what is sacred in us, that is actually what is sustaining us and recharges of strength when it seems that we are losing that, and pushes us to align with the path that leads us to reveal light. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.